Now I'm going to get into looking at how to actually select what folders and files can be synced. As you guys see on yours, like we talked about before, the only thing set up to sync right now for you are the progress set drawings, coordination drawings, and the field folder. But like we were talking about, say you're working on lighting and you want to have the light fixture submittal set up and for you at all times to have synced for you. You'd have to go through, open up your submittal folder, find the file you want. Maybe it's the whole light fixture submittal folder. Maybe it's just the master light fixture submittal file. Then all you have to do is tap and hold on it. You'll see this side open up where it's got little check boxes. Check whichever folders you want or files you want to have synced. Then down here at the bottom where it says set, tap that set button. You'll notice the icon to the right changed when I did it. If you watch it again, watch right here where my finger's pointing on the right side of the screen. When I hit set, it disappears. That means I no longer have it set to sync. I hit it again, the icon shows up. It's set to sync now. You can do that with as many, if I wanted to select all of these, I could select all of them. You can do as many as few as you want. Then when I'm done, I hit done and it'll still be set up to sync. It's as simple as that. It's very easy to find. You know, anywhere you want. If I wanted to go and I wanted to, you know, say it's a relatively small job and it's like you, the foreman, and maybe a couple of pre-apprentices running the job. You might really want to have your head into every single submittal on that job because, you know, it's just between you and the foreman are doing everything. You can go in, select, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one. Select the submittal folder, set the whole thing up to sync. You know, it's however many files or how few files you want to have on there. The one thing I'll say is the more folders you have set up to sync, the longer it'll take to sync each time. The less you have, the less it'll take to sync. The less time and the less data it takes to sync. So it's kind of a trade-off between the two. If you find that every time you set it down to sync, it is taking forever, you know, it takes 3 hours to go through everything and to download everything you need, maybe there's some files that you don't really need to have synced and you can take those off and no longer have them. If you find that you're constantly having to turn on your Wi-Fi, or turn on your cloud access and download files every single time you need something new, maybe you want to add a few things to sync. Once you've picked whatever folders you want to sync, and you're ready to sync, all you have to do is open up Bluebeam, go down here to the bottom where it says sync, tap that. You'll see it changes. It says stop now, which I could hit stop and have it stop. It says analyzing, and it's going through, it's analyzing every single folder that I've got set up to sync. What it's doing when it does this is it's looking at the file you've got saved on your iPad. It's looking at the same version of that, or the same file that's saved in the cloud on ShareFile, and it's comparing the two of them. If there's any differences between them, then it's saying, okay, we need to mark that one to sync. Either you've updated it on your iPad and it's time for it to upload a new version to the cloud so that everyone else has access to it, or someone's updated on the cloud and it's time to download a new version on your iPad so that you've got the latest and greatest. I find it very useful to sync quite frequently. I usually will sync mine once a day. I'll usually take it home when I get home from work, just hit the sync button, like I said, plug it in, and just forget about it, let it do its thing, and don't worry about it anymore. If you sync frequently, it's not going to take that long to sync. You know, maybe since yesterday there's 5 files that have changed. You know, all it's going to have to do is analyze everything, download the 5 files, and it's done. If you're not syncing very frequently, maybe you're syncing once a week, maybe you're syncing once a month, maybe it's been a month and a half since last time you synced, it's probably going to take a long time and use a lot of data because there's probably going to be a lot of files that have changed since the last time that you synced. Remember, it's not just looking at if there are changes to the progress set. If anything in the field folder has been updated, if anything in the coordination drawings, if you've added RFIs or submittals or something to sync, anything in those folders, whether you change them or not, and whether it specifically pertains to what you're working on, if the file's changed, it's going to sync. So you can see I synced mine yesterday. It's already on a sync. It only has 8 files to sync since yesterday. So, you know, it doesn't take, and I'm not doing just the drawings and field. I've got the entire 1900N job folder. There's only 8 files since yesterday it needed to sync. So it's not a whole lot if you're doing it on a daily basis. If you're putting it off for a while, then it's going to be a lot of files. So, you know, there's no hard and fast rule that you have to sync at this time every single day, but you should be syncing fairly frequently just to make sure you've got the most updated things on there. Any question about syncing or how to select files to sync? Yeah, Piero?
When they have conflict, if you mark up something and they have conflict, two files to sync, what do you do?
Okay, so that's a good question. So sometimes what'll happen is say I've synced the field folder and I've got a drawing in there that I'm marking up and looking at, and then my project manager in the office opens up the same file. They make some of their own markups to it and save it. On the computer, since they're basically constantly syncing, it's going to automatically update the cloud with their version of it. But then when I save mine and I go to sync, what Bluebeam's going to do is it's going to look at the version in the cloud, see, hey, the version in the cloud has changed since the last time you synced. But then it's going to look at your iPad and say, hey, this one's changed also since the last time I synced. And it's going to get confused. It doesn't know which is the newest one that it wants to save on your iPad. And it's going to come up. There'll be a little right here. It'll say conflict next to where it says sync. Basically, what that's doing is telling you there's a problem here. I don't know which version to download. Usually, what you'll want to do there is you want to kind of take it file by file and to see what the conflicts are. I can't really give you any hard and fast rule to say always send the one that you've got as the newest one, always download the one that's in the cloud as the newest, because it can change. Maybe the markups that you saved on there you didn't mean to save them. Maybe you just accidentally moved something and you didn't really need to, and your version you don't need to save the changes to, but you want the changes that somebody else made in the cloud. Or maybe whoever was messing with it in the cloud didn't mean to save their changes, but you want to have yours uploaded. I don't know. It's going to be a case-by-case basis. So that's something you'll have to look at. If you're not sure, there's an option of you can upload as a new copy, and what that'll do is just create, whatever the drawing name is, and then it'll put copy at the end of it. And that way, if you see it comes up and it says, hey, this as-built has been changed. I was working on that as-built, but I don't know if anyone else was working on that as-built also. Let me save a copy of it so I don't accidentally erase what I've done or what someone else has done. That would be the standard I would go with if you're not sure. But usually I would want to talk to the foreman or the project manager, find out, why is this file changed? Which version do we need? The other reason why you might run into conflicts has to do with what I was talking about earlier, where we don't have permission to edit files within the drawings folder. If I pull something up from my progress set and I start making all kinds of markups right on that drawing without saving a new copy into my field folder, which we'll see in a second, and then I try to sync it, it'll look at the cloud and it'll say, oh, the cloud version's older. This one that's on your iPad is newer, and it's going to try to replace the one in the cloud with the newer version from your iPad. Then ShareFile is going to tell Bluebeam, hey, this person doesn't have permission to edit files in the progress set. You're not allowed to do it. And then Bluebeam's going to come back and say, hey, I tried to upload the new file for you, but ShareFile didn't let me, so what do you want to do? And in that case, really, your only option is to save the file with your markups into your field folder and download the version from the progress set, because we're not supposed to be editing and changing the progress set. Does that answer your question, Piero?
Yeah.
Okay.